3.
Familia, buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a esta nueva emisión de CAS Radio. Comenzamos hoy con nuestra competencia de cubo. Camila, buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
Buenas tardes, Juan Manuel. Muy emocionada porque estos niños son de los más avanzados que hay. Tienen algo muy interesante para mostrarnos hoy.
Qué bueno. O sea que esto seguramente va a ser rapidísimo. Nos va a tocar pasar repetición en cámara lenta de alguna manera, porque
más me imagino,
bueno.
Sí.
Muy bien. Camila, si quieres me ayudas a presentar a nuestros invitados, a nuestros concursantes de hoy.
Vale, entonces el día de hoy tenemos a Valeria León. Valeria es de 4º grado. Vale, cuéntanos un poquito hace cuánto tienes el cubo, por qué te gusta tanto, qué cubos tienes.
Pues la verdad, yo tenía un cubo y pues yo no lo usaba mucho, entonces pues, un día se me puso muy duro y entonces después fui donde la misma me enseñó y entonces me compraron un nuevo cubo y ahí vi como que usándole me empezó a gustar y todo eso, entonces me compraron hartos en este momento.
Vale, en este momento tiene una colección muy amplia de cubos Rubik's. También tenemos 2 niños de 5º grado, que son Juan Esteban Valderrama, que concursó en la anterior competencia, pero su gran interés lo llevó a querer repetir. Entonces, Juanes, salúdanos y cuéntanos un poquito de tu experiencia con el cubo.
Bueno, mira que yo empecé esta pasión por el cubo Rubik porque un día en la ruta tú trajiste ese cubo, entonces yo tenía siempre desde chiquito curiosidad de cómo armarlo. Y empecé a practicar y tú me enseñaste cuando ya armé mi primera vez el cubo, tú pues repasaste más y más y me fuiste enseñando más y más. Así que, sí.
Y ahora ya eres más duro que la Miss.
Sí.
Bueno, perfecto. Ahora también tenemos a Samuel Sabogal. Él va a concursar por primera vez. Sin embargo, él empezó a practicar demasiado y esto lo ha llevado a reducir el tiempo bastante, que ya se ha vuelto una competencia para Juan Esteban y para Valeria una competencia muy fuerte. Sami, cuéntanos un poquito de tu experiencia con el cubo.
Pues buenas tardes, yo comencé a armar el cubo este año en la ruta con Miss Camila, ella me enseñó y pues yo creo que lo aprendí en 3 días y comencé a practicar y hasta que ya casi alcanzo a Juanes, ya que y he estado practicando un poco más acá en esta cuarentena. Ya.
Vale, gracias, Sam.
Ok, muy bien. Bueno, esto se puede llamar también el cubo en la ruta. Creo que sí, ese es el espacio de... Pero muy bien. Sí. Bueno, Camila, bien. Entonces, no sé, tú nos dirás en qué momento comenzamos.
No, pues yo creo que ya están listos, chicos, ¿cierto?
Listo, perfecto. Entonces, recuerden, por favor, que tiene que verse todo el tiempo el cubo en la pantalla, entonces ubíquense de manera que todo el tiempo se esté viendo, que tengan buena posibilidad de maniobrarlo sin que se les caiga ni nada. Y entonces, Juan Esteban, tu cubo no se está viendo, trata de ubicarte de manera que siempre se vea, ¿listo? Bueno, entonces, perfecto. Camila, entonces te dejo para que des el inicio de nuestra competencia de hoy.
Entonces vamos a iniciar todos con el cubo armado. Después de esto yo les voy a dar un tiempo para que todos desarmen el cubo en el mismo lapso de tiempo. Así vamos a estandarizar un poquito la competencia. Entonces tienen 30 segundos para desarmarlo. ¿Listo? 30 segundos. Ya. Empiecen a desarmar el cubo. Que quede bien desarmado. Bien, muy bien. Esto, Sammy, ¿sigue desarmándolo? 10 segundos más. Y paramos. Listo. Paremos. Entonces, ahora chicos, cuando cuente 3, entonces van a empezar a armar el cubo Rubik. Yo les voy a contar el tiempo y les voy a decir más o menos cuánto se demora cada uno. Bueno, entonces, cuando diga 3, 1, 2, 3.
Bueno, están como muy parejos, según veo, Camila.
Sí.
Hay un cubo que se ve distinto. ¿Eso es del fabricante o hay alguna diferencia, Camila?
La marca que tiene Valeria es el cubo original, la primera marca que salió, y ya después como que hay otras empresas que han venido mejorando el cubo, haciéndolo más rápido, se traba menos, entonces que son los cubos que tienen Samuel y Juan Esteban.
Ok.
Lo ideal sería que todos compitieran con el mismo tipo de cubo, pero...
Claro, pero es complicado. Bueno, pero ya vamos, ya veo bastante...
Valeria, sí. Ok, Juan Esteban, 1.31.
Muy bien, Juan Esteban. Felicitaciones.
Vale, 1.38.
¡Listo, Miss!
1.41. Muy bien.
Bueno, está súper parejo esto. La diferencia fue mínima. Muy bien, Juan Esteban. La vez pasada Juan Esteban había ganado también, Camila.
De segundo. Sí, esta vez fue primero.
Volviste por el estrellato, Juan Esteban. Muy
bueno,
bien.
Chicos,
felicitaciones.
Felicitaciones, sí. Y por último, les recomiendo que vean el documental de Netflix, que se trata de personas que arman el cubo en menos de 6 segundos. Muy interesante la historia, chicos, para que lo vean.
Sí, Miss, yo ya me lo vi. Les cuento que está muy interesante, sí.
Qué bueno. Bueno, Camila, muchísimas gracias por este espacio que abriste en la emisora. Queremos darte la despedida porque sabemos que nos acompañas hasta hoy en el colegio. Es muy triste, pero digamos que tenemos la oportunidad de despedirte aquí en este medio para que todo el mundo nos vea. Te vamos a extrañar mucho. Yo sé que los estudiantes también. No sé si ustedes quieran decirle algo a Camila, niños.
Una pregunta. Bueno. Pues si me dejas decir algo a la Miss.
Claro, dilo, Juan Esteban.
Que Miss, te vamos a extrañar mucho porque pues creo que todos los que estamos aquí te han conocido y han aprendido mucho de ti. Tú eres una gran persona y gracias por todo lo que nos has implementado en nuestra vida.
Muy bien, qué lindas palabras, Juan Esteban. Bueno, yo quiero que...
Algunas palabras a la
Claro,
vez.
Marianita.
Pues yo siempre te quiero, incluyendo cuando tú nos dictas clases, pues nos dictas como con amor, no por obligación, sino por amor. Nos hacías ejercicios chéveres como plantar la planta y eso, y yo te admiro por la paciencia que nos tienes a todos.
Ah, qué emocionante eso. Muy bien.
¿Puedo decir algo?
Vale. Ok, vamos rápido porque tenemos invitados, pero vamos, Emilio y Emita, vamos.
No, mi amor, todavía no.
Dale.
Bueno,
bueno, entonces yo conocí a Damis como por clase, entonces ahí yo la conocí, todo eso, entonces ahí a mí me fue gustando porque sus actividades eran muy divertidas y nos tenía mucha paciencia, por eso, o sea, en cuarentena y todo, fue mi Miss favorita, porque tenía mucha paciencia con nosotros. Y después la conocí un poquito más en la ruta, porque me estaba enseñando cómo hacer un cubo Rubik. un cubo Rubik, pero ya lo dejé porque se me fue muy difícil, sin clases ni nada. Entonces la admiro mucho y bueno, que la pases muy bien en tu nueva vida en Estados Unidos y chao.
Gracias, Pablito. Yo te quiero un montón, ¿vale? Yo te voy a extrañar muchísimo. Igual a Emita, Mariana, todos ustedes chiquitos.
Bueno, muy bien. Bueno, Emita, tus palabras finales.
Bueno, a Miss Cami, pues muchas gracias, Miss, por acompañarnos por estos 2 trimestres. Además que en segundo A fuiste nuestra coasesora y profesora de Science. Pues te queremos mucho de parte de todos de segundo A y te vamos a extrañar mucho.
Yo también a ustedes, corazón.
Bueno, finalizamos.
Gracias, Juan Manuel.
Un fuerte aplauso, todos. Camila, que tengas un gran futuro y muchas gracias por haber estado aquí en este espacio.
Gracias.
Chao.
Gracias, chicos. Chao. Feliz noche, chicos. Chao, chiquitos. Los quiero mucho. Chao.
Un buen año, Miss.
Gracias, corazón. Chao.
Éxitos por allá en Estados Unidos.
Ay, Sebas, gracias. Mañana nos vemos. Chao.
Muy bien. Seguimos entonces con nuestro segmento de Global Views.
Family, welcome to a brand new edition of our Global Views show. We are so excited to be here with you guys today. We already had an amazing emotional moment in our Rubik's Cube competition earlier today, and now it's time for what we can say it's the main event, because we truly are very honored of our guests that we have here tonight. But tonight for Global Views, we had to bring it all in. We had to bring primary coordinators, very special teachers, students from all ages to be able to be part of today's special event. So we have a lot of invitations, a lot of invites. So let me get started with our coordinator. Let me introduce everybody to our show tonight, to Diego Cortez. Diego, how are you doing tonight?
Hello, Sergio. How are you? Hello, CAS community. Tonight, I'm very excited to be joining you today for our CAS radio show, which is going to be super awesome.
Diego, we are so excited for this show tonight. I mean, we've been planning it for a while now. Let me ask you a question, because I love having questions. I love interacting with all my guests. You have been very involved with this project since the moment we started it. What are your expectations for tonight? What do you want our kids, our parents, our community to grab from this experience tonight?
Well, first of all, for our students to enjoy this time, we're going to have a great celebration. I don't want to spoil it just yet, but I expect that all the kids are super happy because they're going to meet three special guests tonight that are hopefully going to make us have a great time. I'm pretty sure it will be like that. For our parents to see their kids interact with our guests, read this little something that they have prepared for you, and well, for all the rest of our community to enjoy while they're watching. So I would have to say this is it, to have a great time tonight with our guests, with all of our students and our teachers.
Yes, I'm sure we are going to have a great time tonight. I know our students have been very excited about this project since we announced it. But definitely my next introduction of my next guest, she has been the mastermind of this project. She has been our contact, our blessing, our everything that put this night together for us. Miss Claudia, how are you doing tonight?
Happy to be in this section today. So in this show today. So hello, CAS community. We are so honored to introduce you to two world-renowned authors. They are Jorge Lacera and Megan Lacera. So thank you for being here. On behalf of our school community, on behalf of our students, I would like to thank you for taking that time, that valuable time to be here with us and to share that beautiful book that you have written. So you are the authors of that book. So our students cannot wait to hear from you.
Awesome. Claudita, before we give space to our authors and to our invitation tonight, you brought some students that you've been working with for the last couple of weeks. I know they have been very exciting. They've been preparing, they've been polishing up their language, they've been writing questions. I mean, they're ready for this. So why don't we introduce them first? Let's let our community get to know our participants for tonight. So since you know them very well, let's do one at a time. Let's introduce them one at a time.
Okay, right. First of all, we have read the book with them, of course, and they are very excited to get to know the authors. So I would like to introduce them because they have something to say about the book. Besides,
can you share with our community the name of the book? Can you share us the name of the book?
Well, I would like to have it like a surprise, but yes, it's Zombies Don't Eat Veggies. So they have read it, they have read the book a couple of times in our classes and by themselves. So they are very excited to get to know the author because the book is awesome, it's beautiful, it teaches us a lot of things about that, about what the message of the book. So it's pretty beautiful. So I would like to introduce our little guests, and they are Isabel Pierre. She is in transition, and she has something to say about the book besides a question, because they are all also going to ask questions. I have Emilio Serrano, he's from 2nd B. I have Marianita, she's from 2nd B. I have Emma Duncan, she is from 2nd A. And I have Sebastian Valenzuela, he's from 2nd D. So they have made those questions. They're going to have surprises for you. And there are some other questions to ask to Kai if Kai is going to be with you. Let's see.
Awesome. Isabela, how are you doing today, baby? Do you want to say hi to everybody at home?
Fine. She's fine.
Say hi to everybody watching in their houses.
With your hand.
There you go. Emilio, how are you doing tonight? How are you, buddy?
Hi.
Fine. Hi, how are you? All right, let's go with Marianita. Hello, Marianita. How are you?
I am so good today.
Well, so good today. Awesome. And we have Emita. Emita, how are you today, baby?
It's fine. Thank you. I'm very good.
Awesome. And we also have Sebastian. Sebastian, hi. Good night. Good afternoon.
Hi. I am very amazing.
You are very amazing. All of you are very amazing tonight. All right, Claudita.
Tonight.
We are all amazing tonight. That's right, Diego. Hey, Claudita, so I think without any further ado, let's introduce our guest. Why don't you introduce our guest for tonight?
Yes, first of all, I would like to introduce my daughter. She also studies at CAS, at Columbia American School, and she would like to talk about a little bit about Megan and Jorge Lacera's lives.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Susan. How's it going? Now, this
Great,
is the second time that you join us for Global Views. Welcome back
yes,
to the
it
show.
is. Thank you so much. It's an honor. Well, I'm going to give a small biography about Megan and Jorge. And so to start off, Jorge was born in Colombia and he grew up in Miami, Florida, drawing in sketchbooks, on napkins, and walls, and anywhere his parents would let him. After graduating with honors from Ringling College of Art and Design, Jorge worked as a visual development and concept artist for video game and entertainment companies. Megan Lacera grew up in the suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio, with a book always in her hands. She became a writer and creator of characters and worlds for entertainment companies, and later formed her own creative company with husband Jorge Lacera. Together, they realized that they rarely saw themselves or their families in children's books, so they are working to change this. Now, Jorge and Megan live with their son Kai in Canada. So it's an honor to give this introduction to them.
Thank you so much, Susan. That introduction was amazing. Thank you. And thank you to everyone. Thank you, CAS community. We're so happy to be here.
Absolutely. We are so happy to be here. This is an honor. And you students are amazing. Watching you do the Rubik's Cube and then just the way you expressed yourself so clearly to your teacher is very inspiring. So I was kind of in tears a little bit. So what a way to start.
Yeah, let's
So
start.
We're really excited to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think we're going to start by reading Zombies Don't Eat Veggies. For those of you that have not read it, we'll start. So we read it together. So we'll be showing you the book on screen, and we'll be reading and going along. Is that okay? Do you think that'll work for everyone? Yeah? Okay, great.
I will say that we used to think we were really, really good at reading this book and performing it. And then, I don't know if you saw, but the book was selected by a place called Storyline Online to do a performance of the book. And Jaime Camille did a reading of the book, and he's a lot better.
He's very good.
So, with that said, we're going to do our best because, we did create it. So we have some nuances that maybe Jaime couldn't do.
Well, let's see. Let's see if we can compare to Jaime.
Yes, okay.
So, zombies don't eat veggies.
By us.
By us.
Now, I don't know if you noticed when you read the book, if any of you read the book, but it actually starts here on the end, what is called the end pages. So you have to keep in mind that there's an image here of the dad running in a marathon and Mo's in the background. And over here, there's a brain eating competition happening.
You can see Mo's pretty happy.
Okay, so keep those things in mind because they come back in the story. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Mo was a zombie with a deep, dark craving. It was dreadful, devious, absolutely despicable.
Oh, no. What could it be?
I think they know.
Yeah, they probably do.
Mo loved to eat vegetables. He grew all kinds of veggies in his hidden garden. And then, in his secret kitchen, he crafted celery and tomatoes and carrots into delicioso meals that he devoured with delight.
Mmm. That carrot looks really good, right? Yummy.
Oh, but Mo's mom and dad, they did not love vegetables. Not one bit. Veggies were yucky, disgusting, que asco. They were not allowed at the Romero's dinner table.
Mo's dad's reading a book called Endurance Running for Zombies, and he says, ready to chase some humans in the marathon next week, mijo?
Now, zombies were supposed to eat zombie cuisine, like brain cakes and brain stew and brain and bean tortillas. Mo's parents insisted that their niño eat only zombie food.
And Mo's mom's holding this disgusting bowl of fingers, and she says, finger foods, mi amor? And Mo looks up, and he says, gracias, I'm not hungry.
Mo tried to convince his mom and dad to give peas a chance. He sneaked in vegetables wherever he could, like this head of lettuce, or the mom is saying,
grains.
But Mo's attempts were fruitless. His parents wanted him to accept who he was, a zombie. And zombies don't eat veggies. Mo knew he did not like zombie cuisine, and he couldn't imagine letting go of spinach or cucumbers or kale forever. If zombies are only supposed to eat zombie cuisine, Mo started to wonder if he was even a zombie at all.
Let's find out.
So day after day, Mo wondered how he could make his parents understand his love of veggies. After all, his tomatoes were tantalizing.
Yummy.
His cucumbers so crispy.
Yum.
Add some onions, some garlic, and a touch of cilantro and gazpacho! Holy aioli, Mo had an idea. This was his best one yet. Mo grabbed his book of recipes. His fingers flew across the pages until he found it. The recipe for a tomato and veggie-filled soup. He was sure the tomatoes would make it look bloody and gloopy, just like a zombie dish. Oh, his parents were going to devour it. He knew it. Mo chopped and diced, blended and pureed, perfected and poured.
Getting it just right.
Looked so good. Finally, the soup was finished. Mo carefully shuffled it over to the house to dinner.
I hope this works for Mom, personally.
Me too. Me too.
Let's see if it will.
You know, I really want it to work. At his house, he found a feast fit for a zombie.
Oh no, he's got all these gross zombie foods. There's pickled tongue, arroz con spleen, his dad's famoso chili con ojos, Doritos for dipping, and of course the famous empanadas.
And Mo's dad says,
Mo, you're just in time. And his mom, looking on, says, try some empanadas, mi amor. Prime cuts. Mira, I made spicy mayonnaise.
Okay, so what does Mo do?
What's
he gonna say?
Mo slides the bowl across the table and he goes, I made something for you too. It's called blood bile bisque. Bon appetit gave it 5 brains. Mo's dad takes a look at it and says, smells strange, looks delightful. And his mom says, 5 brains must be delicioso. And they dug in.
They ate like zombies do. Oh, Mo closed his eyes and he sucked in his breath. This was it. They would savor the soup. They'd ask for mas. Mo imagines breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks. All vegetables. Raw, cooked, steamed, and fried. Forever and ever he saw all of his dreams coming true.
Oh, I think it's going to work.
I think it's gonna work. It's gonna work, right? It's gonna work. It's got to.
Until.
Oh,
no.
Oh, no.
No.
Most parents did not like the soup. Not one bit. And his mom says,
Dios mío, this soup tastes like vegetables. Yuck.
Poor Mo. His heart sank to his toes. His plan was a bust.
But you know what? Mo's dad, after they composed themselves and got themselves together, Mo's dad says, how many times do we have to tell you that zombies don't eat veggies? You know what? Mo took a moment, he stopped, and he said, you know what? Maybe other zombies don't eat veggies, but I do, Mom and Dad. I'm different.
Okay, now remember those images from the beginning because they're coming back here. What does Mo say?
But then Mo says, but I'm still me. Mauricio Romero, you're Niño. You're Mo.
Mo reminded his parents that he liked chasing humans as they ran in the marathons.
That's right.
And he promised he'd always cheer for Dad during championship brain eating competitions. He also loved doing the zombie shuffle under the moonlight with Mom. He was a zombie, a Romero. He just liked to eat vegetables. Most parents, they loved their son, and they finally accepted that it's okay to be different. They even promised Mo they'd eat more veggies for him. Now you can see all the veggies on the table.
Yeah, the table's different now. Now there's fiddlehead fried ferns, artichoke hearts and macaroni, patacones, ears of corn with Dead Sea salt and butter, and be still my hearts of palm chop salad. So there's more veggies on the table. The family changed just a little bit, right? Just a little bit of veggies.
The Romeros knew that most zombies don't eat veggies. But they were more than zombies. They were a family. The end. So that is our book.
Yay! Everybody give them a big hand of applause. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. We wanted to tell you, now that we read the book, we wanted to talk to you about our origin story, how we came to do this, how we came to write and illustrate books and do all the things that we do. And maybe from our story, you'll be able to think about your origin story and what kinds of things you want to do. So we're going to share our screen.
Make sure everything's ready to go.
Okay.
All right. While you guys set that up, I just want to remind everybody at home that if you guys have questions for Jorge and Megan, you can write us in our YouTube channel, and we can certainly ask them the questions towards the end of our broadcast. So if you have any questions, I know that some of you are already sending our questions. We're having some questions coming in. After the Origin special activity that you guys can follow with us at home, watching at home, I believe all they need is a sheet of paper and some pencils and color pencils, right?
That's right. Just a marker and a sheet of paper.
Right. So while you guys share your origin story, for the kids watching at home, if you guys want to start finding your materials, you just need to get one sheet of paper, color pencils, and some and just pencils and color pencils to be able to join with the activity. All right. So yeah, share with us your origin story. We're so excited to hear it.
Yes.
Okay. Can everyone see our screen and see us as well?
Yes. Yes.
Looks like it. Okay. Fantastic. So our origin story. So we like to talk about our origin story almost like every superhero has an origin story, and we think that everyone actually has an origin story. So we'll go ahead and start talking about ours.
So Susan, with her beautiful introduction, told you a little bit, but this is me. There's a picture of me on the screen if you can't see it at home. But I was born in Washington, D.C., the capital of the U.S., and then I quickly moved to Cleveland, Ohio with my family. There's a picture of my mom and I eating a giant turkey leg. And there's another picture of my family. I have one sister named Corey. And this is where I grew up. I was a kid. So go to the next one.
Okay. Meanwhile, sorry, go ahead.
So when I was growing up in Ohio, I always felt really different from my friends and family. I loved my friends and family. I had wonderful parents and wonderful sister, and was surrounded by a lot of wonderful people, but I always felt a little bit different. For example, there's a picture of me here. I love doing theater. And this picture of me with the silver and red, and my hair is all up in like pipe cleaners. I was playing an alien in the show. I loved writing plays and performing in them. And a lot of kids didn't really like doing that at the time. They said it was a little bit weird, but I loved it. And then there's a picture of me in a Cleveland Browns uniform. I don't know if we watched NFL ever, but I loved the NFL, and I loved the Cleveland Browns. And my favorite player was Bernie Kosar, who was the quarterback. And so in 5th grade for Halloween, I dressed up as Bernie Kosar. And all of my friends made fun of me because they said he's a boy and I'm a girl and I shouldn't do that. So that was sort of the beginning of me realizing, well, I might love things that people tell me are weird, and I have to decide if I love them, then it's okay. So I tapped into that feeling as I was writing this book. So we'll come back to that. So
right.
Meanwhile,
so as we said, as Susana said earlier in the introduction, I was born in Colombia. I was born in Barranquilla, and my parents moved to the United States when I was 1.5 years old to Miami, Florida, and that's me dressed up as a diablito with my mom. So growing up in Florida, it turns out that I also felt different from my family in a different way. So I really loved reading books and comic books. I loved drawing. I would draw all the time. And my parents are awesome, but they loved having big parties. And I loved going up into my room and being quiet and reading a book or drawing while they were having a big party downstairs. So we both felt that same feeling of feeling different from our families, even though we knew that we were part of our families.
maybe it's something that you have felt too at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So we grew up never knowing each other. I grew up in Ohio. I went to my school. There's a picture of my school here. I went to North Olmsted High School. And then when I graduated, I went to Boston University in Massachusetts. And then you went to school?
I went to Design and Architecture Senior High, which is a school in Miami, Florida. And then I went to Art College at Ringling College of Art and Design.
So like I said, we didn't know each other,
Mm-hmm.
but we both always loved stories. So like I said, the theater or reading or watching movies. You loved comics.
Yeah, comic books and movies too.
Yes.
Cartoons. Yep.
So, and then one day we met, our paths intersected, and we met at this place called American Readings, which is a big company. And what are they most known for?
They're most known for greeting cards. So when you send a card in the mail for your birthday or for a holiday, they're the second biggest manufacturer in the country, in the U.S.
But we were not working on greeting cards at all. We were working in a small section of the company that was creating what's called intellectual properties, which are characters that can be used in all sorts of things: TV shows, toys, T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the properties that we worked on are here.
That's right. Yeah. So we worked on Care Bears together. Megan named some new Care Bears. I helped design some new Care Bears. We worked on Mad Balls, which was like a toy from the 80s. There were these like gross little balls. Strawberry Shortcake, which was like a very sweet, and they smelled really nice. I remember that. And then Popples, which is like a plush toy that you could turn inside out. So we worked in this department helping them develop new ideas, new characters, and new stories.
And that's where we met.
Mm-hmm.
So we realized that we really loved working together, and we really liked spending time with each other. And so, after a few years, we got married.
We got married.
and this is us at our wedding.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Not much more to say about
Yeah, I mean, that's it. But we kept working on a bunch of different things. So
Sorry, go ahead. I think Sergio.
Go ahead, Sergio.
No, I was just gonna say that's a beautiful romantic story. It was like apart. I mean, bring you together because of all the weirdness, thoughts, and adventures that you guys have shared through your years. That's awesome.
Exactly. Yes, our differences brought us together.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
So we kept working on all kinds of brands.
Yeah. So I eventually moved over into video games and started working for video game companies like on projects like BioShock Infinite is one of the bigger projects that I worked on that is definitely not kid friendly. And then Megan proceeded to work for Hasbro, which is a toy company in the United States, and I did some work for Dungeons and Dragons, which is like a fantasy series in the U.S.
But My Little Pony is on there, and that's probably the big one. It's pretty popular all over the world. So that was really fun. And so then one day, we had a son who you're going to meet in a bit. And our son is Darth Vader, right?
Yeah, Darth Vader. He's big. No, I'm just kidding. He's the one dressed as Thor. His name is Kai. He's 8 years old. And he became a really big inspiration for us the moment he was born. We realized that there weren't a lot of books and projects that reflected our family. We're multicultural. We speak some Spanish at home, and we just were finding no books that represented us in a fun way. And so we started thinking like, hey, maybe there's something we can do together here.
That's right. So we set out to create our own. We thought, I write, you illustrate, we can do this and fill a hole that we were finding with our family. So that's us. There's some pictures of there, me writing. One of the great things about writing is that you can do it anywhere. And you're illustrating. So you do most of your art on computer.
That's right. So I use a computer to do most of my artwork. I have a special tablet, which is like a surface that I use to draw with a special pen. But I do a lot of sketching in my sketchbook, and that's where a lot of my first ideas come from, are my sketchbook.
Yes, that's good. They're there in your sketchbook. Mm-hmm. So when we were setting out to, what kind of book are we going to create, we thought about all the things that inspire us. And here's just a few photos that we were thinking of in the next page. But our family,
yeah, it's a big one.
Was really a big one. Our family is very important to us. both our immediate family and our extended families. We love Halloween. That's us dressing up. And Kai is a big inspiration for us.
He loves Halloween. He loves dressing up.
And you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so he likes, every year he dresses up, and every year he likes to be very spooky, and that's one of the things he really loves. And that was another thing that we weren't seeing a lot of in books. You know, a lot of the books that were spooky were fun, but, you know, they didn't deal with, again, with the families that were like ours. And so we thought, oh, this could be also something that we could tap into for our story.
Yes. So we kept thinking about other things that really inspired us, and a big one is food. Both eating healthy foods that are good for us is really important to us. And by the way, I was not interested at all in vegetables for a very long time. So we kept thinking about ways that we could try to get him to eat more vegetables. So that was part of it.
Yes.
And then other food.
Yeah, so like
that you grew up with.
So, you know, I grew up in Miami. So, of course, being Colombian, there was lots of Colombian food. But I also grew up loving all sorts of food, Cuban food, Dominican food, all from the Caribbean. And so we wanted to find a way to also incorporate that into our stories, like our love for food, and to represent how food can be a part of your family as well, an aspect and representation of your family.
Absolutely. And then we just thought about books that we liked when we were kids, some of the spookier books from our own childhood, and how much we still remember them now. And we wanted to create a book that made kids today feel like that. Hopefully, that was our goal.
That's right.
So, and we wanted to share a blend of our cultures. So you might recognize Jorge's.
Yeah, that's during the World Cup, of course, always representing Colombia. And so, you know, that was a really big part of the story, was finding a way to infuse the language in there. Like I said before, you know, growing up in Miami, there's a lot of Spanish, and I grew up speaking Spanish at home. So that was really, really, really important. And I think it was also, I'll get to that part. The book is also in Spanish because of that reason.
Yes. So we wanted to get into a little bit about how we made the book. So we started with a draft of the manuscript. And if you can see the screen, it's really just text on a page. So we wrote everything down many, many times. And this is a page from the actual manuscript before it was turned into a book. If you can see it, you can see even things like mom word bubble. So what's going to go in the word bubble? And here's the art text. So what Jorge is going to need to put in the illustrations, along with the actual text that's read. So everything's in there in the document. And again, we did this many, many times, revising it. And you can see here is it's called a revision pass from our editor. So we work with an editor at a publishing company, and we kept making tons and tons of changes. There's lots of red marks on here. So we always say, don't be afraid of red marks, because the red marks are just a way of improving what you're doing. When I was a kid, I hated the red marks because I wanted to be perfect the very first time. And it took me a long time to realize that the only way to get better is to make mistakes and to keep trying. And by making those mistakes, you can become a better writer and creator, or whatever it is that you're doing.
That's right. Also, even for students, when you're looking at your work and you feel like you're being corrected by your teacher, that's awesome. That's an opportunity to grow. And that's what we had to do over and over again for our story to grow and become published.
Exactly. So after we had the manuscript totally done, it was time to think about what the characters were going to actually look like.
That's right. And so then that's where I started to do, I work with Megan on the writing, but then this is the part that I really started to do a lot of work. So for the artwork, I always start with the characters, the main characters. Those are our actors. It's how I think of them in our stories, our main characters. So I did a lot of exploration for what Mo could look like. You know, at one point he had more hair, then we took it off. And if you could see, he had at one point a little sister named Bella, but we ended up not having really the space in the story for her, so we ended up cutting her. But we might put her back in another story later.
Poor Bella.
And so then what happens is that as I start to refine the character and figure out what he's going to look like, what I like to do is I like to do a lineup where I show them drawn from every angle. And that's just for me, so that as I'm drawing him in the books, I know exactly what he looks like from the front, from the side, and the back, just so that they keep things even and consistent. And then we do something that's called a dummy. And a dummy in publishing is a version of the book that is not complete. Usually it's in black and white and very rough. We did a little bit more finished dummy.
But not color.
But not color. So this is just all in black and white, and it's something that you show to a publisher or an editor to get them excited about your book.
It's like the bones of the book.
That's right.
So you're giving them the bones so that you can build out from there, all the structural elements. So you can explain that before and after.
Mm-hmm. So I like to do all my drawings in black and white first, and I do a line outline for all of my drawings. So that way I know where all the characters are going to go and where all the words are going to go for the story. And then after I do that, I start to color it in the computer. So I start picking my colors and dropping them in and making sure that they match with the character and that they go along with the story.
So one of the best parts after, now the book is done, there's some little processes in there, but it gets sent off to a printer and it became the book that we have now. And one of the best part is being able to share it with people like you. And these are just some pictures. That's our son at the top, but the other pictures are from kids around the world that have sent us pictures of them reading the book, which has been really exciting to see because that's why we made the book.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then the other part is getting fan art.
Yeah, this is a really awesome artwork for some fans, some kids that sent them to us. Some teachers have been reading the book, and I love getting artwork from kids. I think artwork from kids is awesome. It's one of my favorite things about being an author and illustrator is receiving feedback from kids and getting this artwork. So I love this stuff.
So with that, we'd love to have you draw with Jorge a little bit. What are you going to show them?
I'm going to show you an exercise I like to do where I start to break down and do a drawing and do a character with just shapes. So we're going to just use circles, triangles, and squares. And using circles and triangles and squares, we're going to draw our own zombie, if that's okay. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. Maybe what we can do is stop sharing the screen so that way we can see all of our kids and everybody can see all of the work that the kids are doing. I know Dieguito and Claudia, we're going to be able to help you guys with the students to make sure that they understand the instructions and they're able to follow it. And I know all of our kids watching at home, they're also going to be joining in with our activity. So yeah. Kids, are you guys ready? Is everybody ready? Emilio?
No, everybody is ready. They have their pencil, they have their colors, they have their paper. They're ready to go. So don't you worry. Just give the instructions.
All right, there you go.
Just one moment. I think we might have to turn our camera off to get it repositioned, and we'll be right back.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. So
that has been so exciting. Seeing all of this, how they got to think about all these ideas and having a rough book, for me, that was like something that I hadn't thought about. So amazing, right?
So kids, get ready to draw. Get ready to draw with the author. He's going to teach you how to do it. Okay.
So I'm going to just draw the shapes on the side so that we know and we can always know what we're going to be working with. Just square, triangle, and circle. So I always like to start with the head. And I always make a big circle for the head. Hold on. I'm trying to get that.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Now, everyone, this does not have to be perfect. It will not be perfect.
That's right, and that's okay. I love sometimes all the little imperfections in the way that you draw shapes. That's fine. That gives it character and gives it life. So once we have the head, I like to do a long rectangle for the body, which is like a long version of the square.
Is everybody with us? Give us a thumbs up if you're with us.
Show us your drawing. Let us see your drawing in camera.
Very cool.
There we go.
Yeah, that looks great.
Can we see your drawing, buddy? Can you put it in the camera?
Cool.
Perfect.
Nice.
There you go. Isabella, baby, can we see your drawing? Can you put your drawing in the camera so we can see it?
Very cool. Okay.
There we go. Okay.
There we go.
Now, the next step. I always like to do eyes. The eyes are important. They're the windows of the soul. So I do one circle, two circles. So one trick I have for drawing eyes is I'll sometimes do a line that goes down, and then I'll fill it in. I'll do the same on the other side. And this gives them a look like they're looking to the side, which is kind of fun. Okay, now we are drawing a zombie. So one of the ways that I like to make it look like a zombie is I'll use a triangle for a nose. And then I fill it in. Now he starts to look like a little bit like a zombie. He's starting to look like a calavera a little bit. Now, the mouth. I like to do a mouth that comes right across and then a circle. So all it is half a circle, like that, on its side. And then that becomes the mouth. Now, because it is a zombie, and we want him to look a little spooky, I like to do triangle teeth. For chomping. Okay, can I see some of your drawings? I'd love to see what you guys are doing. Wow, very cool. Yeah, I love it. Very cool, Amita and Sebastian. I love it. I like his head shape.
Isabella, can we see yours? Yay, beautiful.
Nice, Emilio.
What about Marianita? Marianita, can you show us yours?
Wonderful.
Love it, Marianita. Very cool. Okay, now we can go a couple of different ways at this point, but let's go ahead and show you some different options maybe. Mm-hmm. So we'll do the ears. So the ears are fun because the ears of the zombies, they're a little messed up because maybe they've been outside or buried underground, who knows. So I try to give them a little bite out of the ear, or like he's missing a little piece.
So how did you do that?
I did that by doing, again, half a circle, and then I do one or two little secondary loops. You can see that there. So it looks a little bit like that. And then I do a little shape for the inside of the ear. And then I'll do the other ear. I'll just do a regular ear. And I'll do the same. And again, it's just a half circle. So right now, we've only been using these shapes so far.
All right, let's see those drawings again. Emita, can you show us your drawing, baby? There you go. That's beautiful.
Love it.
Marianita, beautiful.
Oh, Marianita, love the eyes.
Sebastian, can we see your drawing, buddy?
Oh, nice.
Look at that. And Isabella?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. Look at those zombies. They're so scary. It's almost like we're getting ready for Halloween.
I know. Halloween. Halloween in August.
You know, there's never a bad time for Halloween.
That's right. That's how we feel.
That's right.
I like you, Sergio.
So now, I think that you can have, if you want to, this is always, when I do this live, I always ask the students if they want their zombie to be a girl or a boy. So I think that this is I'm going to leave it up to you to decide whether you want your zombie to be a girl zombie or a boy zombie, and I'll show you how you can do them and decorate them in different ways. So let's say you wanted to do this as a boy zombie. You can do his hair, and we're going to go now to the triangle, and we're going to do just a couple of different triangles coming down from the top of the head for the hair, and you can color that in. And if you have different color pencils, you can color the hair in a different color if you'd like. Just using black.
Look at Emilio.
That's very cool, Emilio. But if you wanted to turn your character into a girl, what I like to do is we're going to go to the square. We're going to do one square, a little one here, a little rectangle here, and a little rectangle here. And then we're going to go back to the triangles. And this time you can do 2 or 3 long triangles coming off of the square. And you can color them in, and it starts to look like little pigtails.
Mm-hmm.
And you do the same for the other side. And then for extra points, you can give her eyelashes. I don't know why, but whenever you draw eyelashes on a character, it immediately looks like a girl.
All right, cool. Let's see those drawings. Emilio, all right, he made a boy. Emita, let me see yours. Oh, she's finishing. Okay, she's got to wait.
Yeah, take your time.
Right, Anita, can we see yours?
I love
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sebastian? Oh, look at Emita. Emita's showing her other.
Emita.
She made a girl.
Oh, and Sebastian, I like getting you.
Sebastian made a little devil.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like your costume.
Oh, Diablito. Una
Yeah.
Diablita. Very
And
cool.
Isabela?
There we go.
Oh, I love it, Isabela. Very nice. Oh, I like
These are
that
great.
Emilio added some cool hair to his. That's very awesome.
You know, I feel bad because this is like the best drawing I've done in my life, and it's not even as pretty as theirs. I feel like
know.
how shiny.
I know. Do you want to compare? Look at mine. It's.
It's looking good too, you know?
Thank you. I did my best.
We're all in this. We're all in this, and I'm sure everybody
Yeah.
at home they're trying it too. They have like draft 1, draft 2.
I know.
But you know what? But you know what? I would like to see the other drawings from my student, from the other students who are watching this tomorrow in classes.
Uh-oh. Homework at 7 o'clock at night. Uh-oh.
Tomorrow.
So we're going to keep going here, and we're going to do 2 long rectangles for the legs. And see, like my leg is one is smaller than the other. That's okay. And then we're going to go and we're going to do something like that, like a sideways triangle for the feet. And then I just like to draw a little circle inside and maybe, you know, some triangles for the bottom of the feet to show the soles. And then I could go ahead and color the pants if you want, if you're doing a little zombie boy. But if you wanted to do a zombie girl, again, we can start using our shapes. We can start with the start almost like of a triangle that comes out for a skirt. And then you can do little edges like that. And then you can color the whole thing in. Now you've got a skirt. For the arms, we can do a couple of different things, but let's go ahead and make this zombie. The zombie seems kind of like they're pretty happy. They're pretty satisfied with themselves. So let's put her hands, or your zombies. You can do whatever you want with yours, but I'm going to go ahead and put my zombies' hands by their side. And again, it's just the same shapes. We're still going back to the circle and then doing a smaller circle for the hand. And maybe what we can do is we can have her or yours waving. So again, you do half a circle, another one, and then to continue with the shapes, you could just do some triangles and pointy fingers. Mine looks like a little weird, but that's okay.
The idea here really is that drawing is based on building blocks. You start off really simply with simple shapes, and you can get more complicated from there.
That's right.
So I bet some of you are amazing artists, and some of you might feel like you're not an artist, but we're all artists, and we can all start with these simple shapes and go from there.
Oh,
Yes,
I love it, Isabella.
Isabella, beautiful. I like how you took a different direction with that's hair, right? Yeah.
And Emilio's.
Oh, and you got.
Oh, he's already got it colored and everything.
Color.
Very advanced. Nice, Emilio. So
They're all doing different things with their own drawings, which is
Yeah.
exactly what you should be doing, making it your own.
that's right. So this happens every time. Everyone has a different zombie, even though I'm showing the basics. So what that means is that you can always add and change yours and expand and make it your own unique zombie. Oh, love it, Anita.
I think one of the things that I love the most is the fact that the kids are adding like their own colors. Like, we're not like, there's not really the instruction of the colors, but each one of them are identifying with different perspectives of colors, which I love that.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's very cool. Color is important. And, feel free to add. I mean, obviously you're doing it already and adding your own color and making it your own. That's awesome. I agree. I think that's really cool. And then finally, if you want to add little details, so because they're zombies, maybe their clothes is a little bit ripped up. So then I like to just do like little holes in their, arms and their shirt, just little tears maybe that have come off. Another option is you can give different patterns to their shirt. So you could either do stripes, or polka dots could be cool too, just to give them a little different flavor. And that's it.
Maybe, let me see. So maybe we should move to questions so we don't run out of time. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah,
I zombies real quick before.
I think that's what I was gonna say. I think before we move into the questions, maybe we can see the final products of each one of the students. So Emita, beautiful.
Emita,
yes.
Beautiful.
Marianita, can you show us yours?
Oh, wow.
Added some color to it. Nice.
Beautiful.
Sebastian, can we see yours? Okay, he's finishing.
Isabella, can we see yours?
Oh, wow.
That's so cute, Isabella. I love it. Really
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
very good.
They're all so good. Diego and Sergio, Claudia, you don't get out of this.
I just need to add a little color.
Yes.
It's a little dancing zombie.
Oh, there you go.
Mine is like a weird version of Invader Sim, going wrong.
Those are all amazing.
So we're gonna go ahead and pause that and get us set up again.
Yeah, let's fix the camera, and I think that we're gonna move on into the questions. So, Claudita, do you have a specific order that you want the questions? Do you want?
No, it's at any order. It could be any can ask the questions, any of them. Mm-hmm. So how about if we start with Isabelita? Would you like to ask any question to the others, please?
Hello, I love your book. I have a question. Why does Mo like veggies?
Why does Mo like veggies?
Oh, there's Kai.
Hi, Kai. Hi, nice to see you. We are so glad to see you, all of us. Thank you.
So the question is, why does Mo like veggies? That's a very good question that I think Megan is happy to answer.
So when we were coming up with the story, we were thinking about a zombie kid that just felt different than other zombies. And we were thinking of all the ways that he might feel different. And we kept coming back to food because we were saying we wanted to have a book about some of the foods that we love. And most people don't think about zombie food, right? We call it zombie cuisine. They just eat zombie cuisine.
Or in the Spanish version, it's comida zombiana.
Okay, yes. All right. Thank you for your answer, Megan. Thank you, Isabelita. Now, Emilia, would you like to ask the question, please?
Hello, George or Jorge. And my question is, what do you like to do with your family when are not riding?
When you're not riding.
What do I like to do with my family when I'm not writing? Thank you. That's a great question, Emilio. We like to do lots of things. We like to go on long walks. We like to watch movies, and we read books together. We play games. What else do we do, Kai?
We draw.
We draw. You like to draw?
You draw. Nice.
We like drawing for fun, and we draw a lot.
Good job, Kai. That's a great hobby. That's a great activity to do as well.
And I like your book because show the difference between the people.
That's right. Thank you so much. I mean, that means a lot to us. That's what we wanted to do with the book. So I'm so glad that you like our book. Thank you.
All right, Emita, now it's your turn.
Okay, my question is, where do you get information or ideas for your books?
Like we said before in our presentation, our ideas for our books come from our family and from our lives and our experience. We always writing down ideas that we have. Sometimes it'll be an idea for a book, or sometimes it's for just a drawing, or sometimes we have ideas for books that are illustrated, and sometimes we have ideas for books that are just words. But I think it's mostly from our life and from each other.
Great answer, thank you.
And this is an amazing book And this is an amazing book because the Moss family is nice and authentic.
Oh, thank you, Marianita. That means a lot to us. That we work very hard to make Mo's family they're strange, but they're very nice, and they care about Mo. So thank you. That means a lot. Thank you.
Do you have a question, Marianita?
No.
No, okay, perfect. Sebastian, what would you like to say?
Mo loves eating veggies, and I do too. They are very healthy. What inspired you to become a writer?
That's great. What inspired you to become a writer? That's a great question.
That's a great question. So, I loved reading books, and I loved watching movies, and I loved going to plays, and I thought, did you say something, Sebastian? And so I felt like I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted to be able to tell my own stories. And I really loved how reading books and watching movies and all those things made me feel. And so I thought, well, if I could make somebody else feel like that, that would be pretty amazing, and that would be pretty special. So that's what really inspired me to be a writer, because you can reach people in a way that you can't with almost anything else. So that's why.
Thank you.
Thank you. Emita, would you like to say something else? Okay.
My favorite character is Mo because he is honest and respectful to his parents. And as a child, what did you want to become when you grew up?
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. Thank you for that comment about Mo. I think I always wanted to be an artist. That's all. I always drew a lot when I was a kid, and I always knew that was something that I wanted to do as an adult. I was lucky that I was able to have great teachers like you have right now at your school, who were able to guide me and help me. But always, yeah, I'd always wanted to be an artist. How about you, Kai? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Artist.
Artist too.
Oh, wonderful! Yay! Wonderful.
How about you, Megan? How did you what did you want to be when you grew up when you were a kid?
Well, I did know I liked writing, but I thought at first I wanted to be a doctor. Or, and this is totally out there, I really like sports. And so I thought maybe I would be a sports writer, or be on TV and get to go to all the different sports games and then write about it. But I changed my mind after college.
That's very interesting.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your answers. So I don't know, Sergio, maybe somebody from the audience is asking questions.
Yes, we have one question from the audience, from Monica Alexandra Jimenez, and she wants to know, why did you guys choose zombies for your characters?
Good question.
That's a good question. I think we picked zombies because at the time, Kai was very curious about zombies, but there weren't a lot of shows or books about zombies that were okay for kids, that were appropriate for kids. So we thought that it would be funny and also entertaining to show zombies in a different way, in a way that was, silly and funny and goofy and not serious and scary. So that was one of the reasons.
Yeah, no, that's the big reasons. Everyone seems to, not everyone, but lots of people seem to really like zombies. And so we thought we could have a really funny book that also had a message that we wanted to get across in a way that would be more interesting to people than just saying a message without really funny characters. So it's a good question.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I think it's time for us to close out our session. Thank you guys for joining us. Kids, did you guys have fun today? Did you guys like today's activity?
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, my kids. He loves it. Okay, great.
Awesome.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you, Kai, for being with us. It has been a pleasure to have you in our show today. So we are very thankful for that. Thank you very much.
Claudita, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for the hard work that you did with your students. I hope they really enjoyed the evening with us today. And thank you for bringing this wonderful guest. Susan, thank you so much for joining us in Global Views today. Again, this is your second time in the show. I think we're just going to have to make you a permanent guest of the show from now on.
Oh, that would be great to make an honorary guest here.
Diego, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there any last thoughts, any last message that you want to send out to our community today?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, parents. Thank you, students. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, English department. Thank you, Claudita. Big shout out to you. And of course, Kai, Megan, and Jorge, thank you very much for being with us here. And well, draw on.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. We're really honored. We're so glad we got to meet all of you, and thank you so much.
Yes,
Jorge, Megan, thank you so much, Kai. Thank you for joining us. Megan, any last words? Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I was going to say, you're all wonderful, such amazing kids, and it's a real pleasure to spend some time with you. So thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you everybody at home for joining us today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I know I did. This is like the best picture I have done in my entire life. I have never drawn this. Ever.
Great job. Good.
Thank you guys at home. For closing out, please stay in our broadcast. We have a small video with the participants of our science project. So I hope everybody has a great night, and we will see you guys later. Everybody say bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
energía del curso tercero D. Para el programa de hoy queremos compartir con ustedes las obras de arte con materiales reciclados representando el retrato familiar que fueron presentados en el concurso dirigido por el proyecto ambiental escolar CAS y el área de artes Dale vida a tus residuos, reciclemos en familia. A continuación presentamos las obras de sección preescolar. Ahora vamos a ver las obras de la sección primaria. último, veremos las obras de sección bachillerato. Gracias a todos por hacer parte de esta exposición y a todos nuestros artistas concursantes les deseamos mucha suerte. No olviden, lo que reciclemos hoy puede salvarnos mañana.
Bueno, familia, y esto es todo por hoy en CAS Radio. Agradecemos a John Ramírez, Alejandro Balaguera y Joan Riaño, quienes estuvieron hoy en el control, como siempre, colaborándonos. Muchas gracias a todos y nos vemos en una próxima emisión el próximo jueves aquí en CAS Radio. Una feliz noche a todos.